Okay, we are live now, Weezer. Hi, Betty Jean Heinzen. If
So
you're
I
here.
won't swear or anything.
Oh, good. I hope Dad gets it figured out. I'm not really sure what to tell him to do because,
Did you send him the link the same you did me?
yeah,
All you do is open it in Safari and then do the instructions.
he said it was a blank screen for him.
You want me to send him mine?
You can try it. I don't know if it'll help, but
I don't know if I can get out of this.
well, now we're not going to be able to get you back.
Uh-oh.
No, I don't know. Oh, what did I do?
I'm still here.
Okay, there you are.
Yeah, go.
All right, I think it's just
Play nicely.
new to it. Yeah, I'm having this issue with the playing nicely. Okay, so we decided to do this live today to celebrate Rock Day or Distaff Day, and I printed out my little Google search to share with you guys what that is. I need you to go play in the other room. So I'm not going to read this off because it'll be cheesy, but essentially, Rock Day is the day after Epiphany, which was yesterday. And it is the day that the women folk would go back to working, like their spinning and things like that. And then it goes on to say that the men generally didn't go back to their farm duties until the following Monday. And they like to harass the women figures because nothing has changed, so that the women wouldn't get much done, but merrymaking resulted. I'm not really sure what merrymaking means, but I'm not going to get into it. So, rock is the reference from like the Viking derived word for distaff. So it's one and the same. That's why some people call it Rock Day, some people call it Distaff Day. Usually, Dad and I would go to a gathering in Ithaca, New York, where there'd be vendors and demonstrations and all sorts of things. Obviously, they're not having that this year, so that's why I decided to try and do it this way. So, Dad is hopefully going to be on here eventually too. Right now, I have my sister Alexis, who's on a lot of my live chats as Bushels and Peck Homestead. You guys will see us bickering in the chat often. So yeah, I'm hoping he is able to figure it out and get on. But I can ask you questions while we wait for Dad.
About what?
Okay, so first question for you is,
You have questions written down for me?
I have interview questions, yes.
Don't interview me.
Hi, Katie. How are you, sweetheart? How's it going today? Hi, Sula. Okay. What got you started in fiber art? What made you want to learn to knitting is your main fiber art, right?
This one right here.
Sula did not.
Yes, she did. When she was born and she was my little baby, I would not put her down. So I wanted something to do with my hands when I was holding my baby in my lap all the time.
It's your fault, Sula.
For a long time, she sat in the baby carrier right here, and I would knit standing at the counter.
I do remember that. I can see that now that you say that.
Yep.
So I know the answer to this question, but what is your favorite form of fiber arting?
Knitting.
Knitting. And she's a left-handed person, so Mom says Dad's trying, so hopefully he will get it figured out. So for those of you coming in, we're talking about fiber art today. It's not something that I talk too much about on the channel all the time, but it's a big part. Dad's here. How come you can't get on, Dad? Dad just said hi.
He's in the chat now.
Yeah, Lexi said, Dad, that she just clicked the link that I sent her and followed the directions, and that she was able to pop right up in the live. So
as soon as you click the link, it tells you to open it in Safari, and then it gives you directions.
Hopefully. So yeah, she's a left-handed knitter, which means that She can't teach me. No, I'm just kidding. She can teach me. I just am not very good. Knitting is the one thing I wish I could do better. That's for sure. He doesn't know. Dad can't. Okay, well, we tried. I don't know. I don't know how else to invite him without I don't know. I don't know what else to do to help him get on here.
Did you try my link that I just sent?
He says it's not doing it. Are you on your phone or your iPad, Lex?
My phone.
Yeah, Dad is on an iPad. I'll send Mom the link. And maybe that will. Oh, I don't know if I can. Let's see. Sorry, everyone, anyone that's watching, I apologize for the disorganization. We're just trying to be able to get my dad on to the chat as well. Okay. No, I don't do that. Okay, I'm going to send it to Mom. I'm going to send you the link in Messenger on Facebook. So maybe you can open it on your phone and it'll work better. Not that you want to let Dad use your phone the whole time, but maybe that'll work. Oh, there's Dad. He got it.
I don't see him. Oh, there he's coming.
Yeah, but it said I was backstage. I kept hollering at you, but you weren't paying any attention to me at all. No big surprise there. My children never paid any attention to me.
Poor Bumpy today.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, poor me. Put your mask on, Alexis.
No mask needed. Okay, so we're going to backtrack, Dad, now that you're here. The question for you is, what is that sound? Oh, it's your Hanson, isn't it?
No,
got
it isn't. Oh my God, no. My Hanson is absolutely silent.
Oh. Okay, so the question is, what got you started in, what was the first fiber art you did? I don't even know, because it was probably before I was born. Tatting, is that what you started with?
I started, yeah, a long time ago, probably in 1973 with tatting. And then I progressed to weaving in probably 1977, 78. And then I did a bit of spinning to help with the fiber program at the Credo Community Center for Alcohol and Substance Abuse. And then probably in the early 90s, I started with bobbin lace and continued spinning, weaving, and all the other good stuff that I was doing. And then I had children and my life went to HE double hockey sticks and a handbasket.
Can we kick him back out?
Oh, that's about it.
Oh, so tatting it was, eh? And what made you want to start to learn to tat? What made you think I need to learn to tat? Chloe, let the pig in.
Judy Shalette was married to Nelson Shalette, who was a very good friend of mine. And she was a tatter. And so I learned how to tat from her just because I thought it was interesting.
All right.
So.
Fair enough. All right. Next question that Lexi already answered is, what is your favorite form of fiber arting? That changes, huh?
Are you talking to me? I guess we're it, aren't we? I guess my favorite is spinning.
Thank God.
Yeah.
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 Yep. Dad does a lot of spinning and then he ships it to South Carolina so Lexi can knit it. Voila.
I'm using my really cool thingy you got me too.
Hanson again.
Mm-hmm.
What is that, Dad?
The Hanson ball spinner. that what you're talking about?
I think it's called something else, but
No, the fiber.
this
Oh, what
is
is it?
Romney.
Everybody that's coming in.
No, it's not Romney.
No?
Isn't that the
Is it Corydale?
Corydale from Ken Wolf?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Let me get the sticker.
So I just want to say hello to Swarmstead. This is my crazy family. That's probably why you're laughing. Crazy Family Homestead. I did not know you spun, but I will have to see if you have any spinning on your channel. What's up, Hickory Farm? This is my dad, Doug Marlowe, in the bottom. Then my sister is up on the, I don't even know what corner it is to you guys because StreamYard flips things a little. So thanks for being here. We're just talking about Rock Day, which is a fiber art celebration. We normally attend in person and go to events. Normally Dad and I go to Ithaca. Obviously we can't do that. So thank you guys for being here. Hey, Sheila Hudson, thanks for being here. How's it going? Where are you guys? Let me know where you guys are coming from. You don't have any spinning on your channel, you need to get some. There's not a lot of spinning channels. I don't even spin a lot or do spinning stuff on my channel a lot. So we're just going through some questions. My dad and my sister both are very active in fiber art. So I thought in celebration of Rock Day, which is, it's like a Catholic holiday, but really fiber artist people have just taken it over as a fun reason to get together and do fiber art. What are you laughing about, Dad?
I'm sorry you broke off.
Oh, I said, what are you laughing about?
Well, it's not just a Catholic celebration.
It says it is in the history books.
I need
Those
it.
Catholics, they try to take everything.
Oh, wow. We've got people from Ontario and Carthage. Oh, I think I know you, Sheila. I'm sorry. I'm not very good at putting names to faces with all the masks. I know where you're from, Katie. What do you spin on, Crazy Family Homestead? All three of us spin. Some more than others. Crazy Family Homestead's in Oklahoma. It's probably warmer. My pig is coming to join us, so if you hear those sounds. So Dad and I both have multiple wheels. Lexi, you just have one, right? Or do you have two still?
No, I just have the one. The dad would tell you better what it is. I don't use it very often.
It's the Spinolution,
It's
right?
a Spinolution B.
Yep. Oh, very cool. That's very cool. I've never been able to spin on a drop spindle. I wish I could because then I could teach my 4-Hers, but we just lost Lexi. She just floated
I'm
away.
sorry. The kids my what I was using to hold the phone.
No, I get that all the time. Chloe's knocked down my iPad during lives before. So it is not something I can do, the drop spindle. Dad does the drop spindle. Do you, Lex?
Not willingly.
No, me either. But
Me
I
either.
mean, it's finicky. I'm just not good at it. But my favorite wheel is a Major Craft Susie that Dad also gave me. It pays to have a parent that's a hoarder. And Dad, what's your favorite wheel? I know that probably changes too.
No, I love my Major Craft Susie, but I'm very, very happy with the Hanson mini spinner.
Which is not really a wheel. It's like a blender with it's an electric wheel. So
That's not nice. The Hanson mini spinner is great for people who have issues with their feet because it spins for you. There's an on-off pedal that you can hit with your foot to start it. When it starts, you just simply spin along like you normally would. The tension adjusts so that you can have draw in wherever you like and are comfortable with it. I'm using mine right now with the woolly winder, but I have the lace flyer and the regular flyer that came with the Hanson, and I also have the. Let's see if I can grab it. Crash bag. Well, somewhere in there, I have the spindle for spinning cotton.
oh,
Yeah, I know. Michelle has an aversion to cotton spinning. It's not an inexpensive wheel. The Hansen, as it sits in its basic form, runs about $1,000 new. They also have a Hansen Pro, which has more oomph to it and some other features, none of which I would need, but that's about $1,200. Oh, a classic Ashford and an antique one that I hate. Oh Lord, I'm sorry, Hickory Craft. That's I have an antique that I love, but I don't use it very often. It's only got one bobbin, and it's kind of a pain in the neck for that reason. But anyway, the Hansen is I would recommend the Hansen for anybody, whether you have feet problems or not. The Hansen is a fantastic spinner. It's very quiet, as you can hear or not hear. It's very, very quiet and very responsive. I can't remember what I'm spinning right now. This blue fiber was something that Michelle gave me, and I think it might be Rondi, but I don't know. And I have to keep fluffing it up because my cat keeps lying in the basket as if she owns it. So.
Can you show them the spinner a little bit closer? Hey Tim, how's it going? We're talking fiber art today, Tim. I've got my dad and my sister on. It's Rock Day, which is like a fiber art celebration.
Okay.
Dad loves this wheel, but I don't like it because I like the zen of being able to treadle with my feet and spin with my hands. If you took away the foot motion of it, it would make me crazy.
See, I love the idea of the machine because it's faster.
No.
You can, Michelle, you can have many other kinds of things to blame your craziness on. Doesn't have to be your Zen absence. But this is the machine, and it's very simple to change out the bobbin, and there's very little maintenance to it.
But you have to plug it in.
Not necessarily. I have a battery. I can operate it from the battery.
He's got a solar pack for it. Take it out in the prairie.
That's right. Little house on the prairie. I also another one that is relatively new. Let me see if I can get a decent picture of it. Now, the basic difference between this, which is made by the Elgin company, the same company that makes Elgin watches, and it was sold by Magicraft for a time, but it is not quiet. And I don't know if that's just I have to do something to adjust, change a bell. I don't think it should be this noise. But it works very, very similar to the Hansen, except that it's just one very noisy little bugger.
Yeah, no, that would drive me nuts. But
I should say bugger. If you have somebody from England or
you never know.
From Australia on.
Eva Rosie, can you go play with Sissy?
And I just
No. Go play with Sissy.
Never.
Here, take this and go play with Sissy. She'll help you.
No. I will never push the phone. I want to play with dinosaurs and kids.
Oh, Lord, help me. Well, anyway, so I brought some stuff that Dad has made in the past over to show because I didn't think he would. So this is the bobbin lace he was talking about before, and I don't know if I can get the glare off it. It's in a plastic case just to keep it safe, but that's an example of a bookmark he's made with bobbin lace, which is done on a pillow. And then these are little hand woven items he's done. I had these in the farm stand, so that's why I have them to show. I actually have a towel myself. And then this is more tatting. I don't know if you brought stuff, Lex, that you've made before, like finished projects or anything, but. So this is tatted lace he made around. So he does all the fiber arts, but spinning is the thing Dad and I both do. Nobody else felts, which is fine. But, and Lexi pretty much knits and then spins on occasion, right?
I think I've touched my wheel once in the past 3 years. I don't
Yeah.
need to. You do it for me.
Yeah, I love to spin, but I've not, very rarely do I use the yarn for anything. So it's good to have Lexi to use it all, which is great. Sometimes I haven't touched the wheel in a long time, and then I get missing it. So like Christmas time when I'm doing all the felting, which is my big thing, I do a lot of needle felting. I just grabbed some of the bigger stuff to show on camera so it was easy. I do lots of felted stuff. I started that because the sheep I raise are not a fiber sheep. They're more of a meat sheep. So I started making dryer balls and the felting from Bear Fleece. Dryer balls are just balls of wool that go in the dryer. The camera messes me up. Mittens, dryer balls, does that count as art? And I have a loom, but I'm not great at spinning. A loom would take a lot of fiber. That's amazing. My dad was very big at weaving. That's what the cloths and stuff I just showed was some of Dad's weaving. So, oh yeah, Icelandic is one of Dad's favorite to spin too, I think.
When you talk about not being able to spin thin enough for your weaving, the weft can be almost any size. The warp is what tends to need more strength and consistency.
Yeah, you can always do something commercial for that part.
Yeah. And you can weave with your hand spun, which is beautiful when it's done. I brought this over because this is in the basket to go to Alexis in South Carolina. This is 122 yards of Romney dyed green. I think, did you give me this, Michelle?
No, I don't think so. I think we bought that at Big E Fiber Fest. If it's green Romney, I bought you some green alpaca wool blended recently off that sale, that online wool fiber art sale.
Maybe I called it Romney by mistake then, because I think this is what you got me.
Because this is the one I'm spinning, and it's the same fiber content. It's like alpaca wool blend. Is that when it came with that?
Yeah, sure.
That was another question I had. So my question was, where do you purchase most of your material? I know Lexi gets it from the mail because we usually send her yarn, but if you have to buy yarn, where do you buy it from?
Me? I've bought yarn once recently from Knit Picks. Is that a yarn supplier? I think it's called Knit Picks.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nice because you can pick what kind of fiber, what weight, and what blends, depending on what you're making. Like, it gives you the colorway, and then you can choose the color in all the different combinations.
Yep. Cool.
For the
Dad?
weaver that's there amongst us, Harrisville Design has beautiful yarns that they produce in New Hampshire. And while they're not inexpensive, they are beautiful to work with, both in terms of weaving as well as other fiber arts. Um, I myself here in New York am a great fan of Nistock Farms. Robin Nistock uh, does a lot of different colorways in Romney. I like that, find her prices reasonable. And Ken Wolf in Governor raises Corriedale, and he has absolutely drop dead gorgeous fleeces that are covered fleeces while they're on the sheet, and
Coated. Yep.
and they're wonderful to spin.
What kind of sheep does Robin raise?
I don't know what she raises, but she has Corriedale, not Corriedale, Romney. You know, her primary yarn or fiber for spinning is Romney. Although she has others too. I don't know.
I thought she had Cotswold or something with a C.
Maybe.
Could me and Chloe go upstairs because the cousin loudly?
Yep.
Loudly.
Yeah.
Mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love you. Yeah, I don't know. I do a lot of Etsy shopping now for fiber. I don't spin a lot of the Southdown fiber. It's too short. That's why I got into the felting of it. We're very close to Canada. Obviously, we can't get there right now. Can't wait till the border's back open as all these items were so much cheaper in the States. I'm sure that's a huge frustration. So if I were to want to go to Canada, it would take me 20 minutes at the most to get to the customs to head towards Kingston. Dad and I used to go to Canada almost every other weekend, but we haven't been in a long time for dog showing, something totally different. But I've never been to any fiber stores or anything in Canada, so I have no idea what it's like up there. But at least you have your own sheep to have some of your own source. That's awesome. That's crazy. We should get together sometime. Yeah, Watertown is where Dad lives. So
Yeah, we're about 26 miles south of the Canadian border at the Thousand Islands Bridge crossover.
yeah, they said they come to Watertown to pick stuff up, so she knows where you are. That's all. And I'm right outside Watertown. I'm 10 minutes. Lexi, on the other hand, is in South Carolina.
We're expecting snow in the morning.
Yeah. She's
Good.
expecting it. We got it. We know.
I'm hoping.
Right?
I'm hoping for a little.
Yeah. All right. Next question. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I think not, but we're gonna go anyway. What is the most challenging? Either one of you can answer this. Whoever comes up with an idea first. What is the most challenging thing you have made or learned to do in fiber art?
I suppose Fair Isle knitting is the most challenging thing I know how to do. That's knitting like stranded color work, like your hat
Yeah.
with the sheep.
Yeah.
That's kind of complicated to get the tension right. I'm working on a sweater that Mom and Dad bought
Pattern.
the pattern for me see, you do so well at this. I'm over here reading this and I can't finish my sentence. Bought the pattern for me, and it requires that I steek the sweater, which means I have to actually cut stitches that I knit, and I'm terrified.
Yeah.
So I can't say I haven't accomplished it yet, but that's what I'm doing now.
I know. I only know what that means because I watch a lot of other like knitting podcasts, and I've heard of it, and it does sound a little scary. But what about you, Dad? What's your most challenging thing you've made or have done?
I guess it would be Theo Mormon weaving. Theo Mormon is a technique of mock tapestry weaving that was developed by a lady whose name was Theo Mormon, and she was from England, and she developed this technique for ecclesiastical weaving, and it's very fluid. So you're not committed to a number of harnesses. You can create shapes and work it out very nicely without multiple harnesses. It takes 4 harnesses to weave Theo Mormon. But it's kind of a challenging operation.
Yeah. I got nothing for this answer. I've tried to knit several times. Hickory Farm was saying that they'd like to do the classic Icelandic knitting. And I have watched YouTube to learn to knit in purl, but then when I knit and I'm trying to just like a rectangle to like practice stitching, it comes out like a non-rectangle.
I love the Nordic Icelandic knitting. It's so very intricate. I haven't tried anything in that specific pattern, but there's are you allowed to mention other people? Arnie and Carlos?
Yeah.
I think they're on YouTube. I don't know, but I think so, because that's probably where I found them.
I know Chris Glass has interviewed them and they have books.
But they're so fun and they do pretty much exclusively that.
Yeah, they dye yarn that goes with their patterns too, right?
And it's a very specific kind of yarn, a specific wool, and
yeah,
it's kind of neat.
Yeah. So they're saying that like they have all the shades of fleece, which would be perfect because you could do like without dyeing, which would be amazing because I do a ton of dyeing because most of the fleece I get is white. And for felting, Arnie and Carlos is who she was talking about. And if you can't find a channel for them on YouTube specifically, I know Christy Glass Knits, and I'll put that in the chat just so you can see it, has a channel, and she has interviewed them, and it's really fun to see what they do. Oh, and I messed up the chat. It's Christy with a Y, not Christ. But so they're yarn dyers, and they dye the yarn specifically to go with those patterns. It's really fun. You have one white sheep. Yeah, that's funny. Well, you'll have lots of fleece. It'll add up. How many years have you been raising the Icelandic Hickory Farm? It definitely adds up. Yeah, it's super fun.
You have somebody on who raises Icelandic?
Yep, the people that are in Ontario.
Oh. That's very interesting.
Yeah, they said that of their flock, they only have one that's white. So it'll add up eventually with the sharing.
Don't the Icelandic sheep have like a special something about the wool? Like,
so I think some Icelandics have the coarser guard fibers. Is that what you're talking about?
Something that makes it warmer for some reason. Yeah, maybe.
Yep, and then some of the fibers are like the lower. There's 2 types, and Hickory Farms can totally correct me, but I believe there's 2 types of Icelandic fleeces. There's the ones with the guard hairs that were more prone to being raised near like the coastal areas. And then there's the ones that don't have the guard hairs as much. And the ones with the guard hairs, the wool that's under the guard hairs, super dense and Tagenthal. There we go. So that's the 2 parts of the fleece is what they're talking about. I can't remember which is which, but so it's 2 separate parts of the fleece. So sometimes people separate it for spinning so that they can have the 2 different kinds of yarn, like the next to skin versus like the coat, more weather resistant. I believe. Again, not the we'll have to learn more from Hickory Farm about the Icelandic because I'm not the go-to knowledgeable person about that. South Downs I could talk about all day. We have 9 ewes bred this year, so fingers crossed for white. That's all we get, except for our Oxfords who have chocolate brown noses and legs. Everybody's got white fleece here. And the Oxfords do grow enough fleece to spin, and it's pretty soft, especially our ram. But the South Downs don't. None of our South Downs do, which is fine. They're still cute. Okay, last question. Are you ready? You guys look ready.
Super ready. Born ready.
Okay. What's your best advice for someone who is looking to get into knitting for you, Lexi, or Dad, for you, any of your knitting, weaving, especially now that we can't just go to classes like we could in normal life?
Best advice for somebody who wants to start knitting?
Yeah, like me.
Don't be afraid of it. Just do it.
Mom,
Yes, dear.
where's my Uncle Dan's shoe?
It's got to be in there somewhere. We're having a shoe
Could
issue.
you find it?
Yeah, come
Okay.
on, Mike. You find it. I think that, you know, for people who are interested in spinning or weaving, even bobbin lace, that, you know, you make YouTube your friend. It seems to me that there's almost nothing that is doable that isn't doable easier with the use
Please let me find it.
Did you keep that kid quiet?
Please, Mama.
Well, the thing is that her father's not here to keep her entertained, so
I'm only.
you
She
guys
is-
I think-
talk and I'll be right back.
I think
She's-
mine have an iPad if you want them to call.
I think they're talking to Chloe. No.
Oh, maybe they are already.
All right, I'll be right back. You guys talk.
Lopi yarn is the yarn that comes from the Icelandic. Is that what she's saying, Dad?
Lopi yarn. Autocorrect.
She spelled it wrong before, but
Must
or
be,
she didn't.
I'm really not very knowledgeable about Shetland. Is that what we're talking? Not Shetland.
Icelandic.
I'm not very very knowledgeable. My only introduction to Icelandic was a good friend of mine, Claudette Degon, used to do locker hooking. Is that the term for making rugs with long locks of Icelandic wool or Shetland? I don't know. Am I talking up my nose here? I don't know.
They're saying loppy or lopi yarn is wool that consists of the two types of fiber: the inner fiber, which is fine and soft and warm; the outer fiber, which is long, glossy, and water repellent. So that's what it is.
That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah. And then, yeah, they said, yeah, spinning the two types of fleece together rather than separating them. I can't even imagine like how much amount of work it is to process a fleece, let alone add in the gruesome step of trying to separate out the two kinds of fiber. I don't know how
Alice.
you would even do that process. So I would also spin it all together because it sounds like a tremendous amount of work to go and
Wait.
excuse me, to separate out the two
Bless
kinds
you.
of fiber. Thank you. So
just
I
wait.
definitely
We're waiting.
would not want to do that. And
Can
I
you
think
tell
it's-
I'm talking to my children over my phone?
Yeah. Well, and I figured this is a weird time to do a live. It's hard to do it in the middle of the day, but. Oh, I thought Dad wanted to say something. He was just waving.
Waving at Alice.
Oh. It's hard. It's a weird time to do a live because a lot of people aren't home, but we're working on that rental property.
Post
So.
it later, right? People can still ask questions.
Yep. People can still ask questions on the replay if they want to.
Dad, can you see this? Look how pretty it's knitting.
Is that the Corriedale?
Uh-huh.
I am too. That's so cool that you guys are so close. I appreciate it. I appreciate you being here. Nanny says hello to you, Alice.
Hi.
Alice, when are you going to start knitting?
She is knitting.
Yeah, I'll show you
What are you
it. I'm knitting a scarf right now.
You know Bumpy's on here. Okay.
Oh, very good. Better than Auntie Meeps can do.
Isn't
That's
she
for sure.
doing good?
Yes.
And she's right-handed.
What kind of yarn are you using?
Just some plain store-bought yarn.
That's good to start with, though. I just bought Chloe one of those those looms, like the little plastic. You had gotten some for Kayla to make hats.
Your child is on the phone. I'm going to go talk to her. Bye.
The the plastic looms, those are good for the one, Elena was just using one on
Uh-huh.
to make hats. So they have like a straight one.
Okay.
And definitely, I would love that. We definitely have to get together. Dad can too, because he lives right in Watertown. So I got her one of those to start, and I bought her some commercial yarn too, just to try it out.
So you asked about advice for people starting out.
Mm-hmm.
The way I taught my little munchkins is on these very cheap clover bamboo needles
Mm-hmm.
because they are not fast or slick. So the stitches don't just come flying off. They've abused
Like
them a
the
little,
metal.
so their ends are all broken. But it goes more slowly on these, and the stitches don't move around as much. I also give them, these are size 10, 6mm needles. They're not too fat and not too skinny because that makes it fiddly.
Yep.
And the yarn the same way. Like this, even this is like a baby acrylic, like to knit baby clothes. This
Yeah.
is almost even too thin for my taste. Just the cheap Red Heart, whatever, is
Yep.
about the right thickness to make it easy for them.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they drop stitches, they just catch it and we'll fix it later.
There's a way to fix that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
You knit to the spot where you dropped. It's the same way like on a sock machine or knitting machine. You catch it and then you take your crochet hook and you put it through the stitch that was dropped and you hook the bars above it to ladder back up to where it's supposed to be.
See, that's my jam. I can crochet all day long, but I definitely cannot knit.
I can crochet. I just don't.
Speaking of crochet, this is something I've crocheted.
It's beautiful.
It smells like your soap. I must have had it stored in the same thing as your soap. That's fun. It's a plant.
All the
holder.
patchouli.
Yes. But I can crochet and I can understand the concept of the I just missed one. Just bought my first cable knits to make hats. I have not knit in a long time. I crochet more. See, I can crochet and I can understand the concept of patterns and stitches, no problem. But I can't knit.
Oh,
so
cable knitting needles. Mm-hmm.
yeah, I have some of those too. They're sitting in the package.
What
Dad
kind
made
did you get?
The clover ones. That's another thing Dad does is sock knitting. In fact, there's a brief video on the channel of him cranking along. Crochet is super easy. I just can't knit. I say that.
Alexis is a better sock knitter than I am on the machine.
I got some yarn to finally try to actually make socks.
Yay.
Do you have a sock knitting machine, Lex, or do you just
I
mean
do.
on the... Oh, I knew you had the big knitting machine.
I have two big knitting machines. I have a Silver Reed LK150, and I have a giant bulky machine that I'm not sure what it's called, but Dad got it for free and gave it to me. And the bulky machine lets you knit like thicker yarn, and the LK150 lets you knit kind of mid-gauge, like worsted weight yarn. And then I have the sock machine that you have to have specifically sock yarn, fingering weight, or thinner yarn to knit on. So
Right.
I finally bought some.
Sorry.
No, you're
Sorry.
fine.
I was just asking Sheila. She was saying she'd like to make wool socks someday. Have you ever tried spinning? Yeah. See, the sock knitting on needles to me, I think if I were going to try to do socks, I would do the 9-inch circs and try to knit like that. And then I'd get to the heel and be like, they're leg warmers. We're good.
2 at a time. I would never have a matching pair.
Yeah. the lady and Rose does that at church, right, Dad? She knits 2 socks at once on a longer circular.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive, and I think that's the best way to do it because then you're just doing the same thing twice, and you don't have to like start back at the beginning. Yes. So she likes all the needleworks. You are I'm gonna get this wrong, but I hope not. I think it's NNY Quilts on Instagram, right? If people want to follow Sheila, she has an Etsy store too, and she makes really cool like notions bags. And I'm not sure that's what you call them, Sheila. I'm really sorry. I'm not very well versed in the cross stitching niche, but you can see them on Instagram. She makes fun stuff, and then other things to hold like the cross stitching threads. She makes and sells those on Etsy. They're really fun. I've got to actually meet her with a mask on, but I met her, so it was fun still. In the farm stand. So very cool. Oh, okay, yeah. NNY Quilts and Crafts. Project bags for cross stitch, crochet, or knit. Yep, very fun. I knew the first part. I was close, but so definitely check her out on Instagram because she makes some cool stuff. That's another thing that makes holiday time fun when you have fiber artists in the family, because then you know what to get them for Christmas and birthdays.
Like this.
Hey, Little Farmers Farm, you're not late. That's okay. This is an off time for us. Taking the boys to bed, Tony from Manchester, UK. What time is it in the UK, Tony? I don't normally do a live on Thursday afternoons. This is just a special Rock Day thing. I don't know if you've heard about that in the UK, but it's a fiber art celebration, and Dad and I usually go to an event, but since New York is not having events right now, we are gathering on here with you all. So
It came from the UK.
oh, did it? It originated in the UK?
I think so. The saint that it honors is English, I believe.
She's
Well,
fact checking you.
I'm fact checking you, but I don't have really good fact checking sources right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. It says stuff about Icelandic and Viking references for the rock word.
Maybe it is then more Viking, although the Vikings were pretty prominent in England too. So
yeah, very cool. So it's called Rock Day. It's 8:47 p.m. there. You're fully locked down. We might as well be. Dad and I haven't. Well, and Weezer. None of us have really gone anywhere in a very long time. So today is the day after the Feast of the Epiphany, which was yesterday. January 7th is always called Distaff Day or Rock Day, ROC Day. And it's just the celebration for when people would go back to work, essentially. Now, in historical times, it was the women folk that went back to their spinning, which is the reference to the distaff is what it's for. I have no idea how to even say that. Hogmanay? Is that what you call it?
Mommy, Alice.
Did I say that wrong? I don't know.
Alice.
Tell her to get off.
what is Hogmanay?
So Tony, this is my father and my sister, and we all three of us are pretty active fiber artists all the time on different levels. My dad does weaving, spinning, tatting, bobbin lace, and my sister does a ton of knitting, some spinning. Obviously, I do the felting and spinning and a little crochet, un poco. So we're just kind of hanging out together. My sister is in South Carolina in the States, and then Dad and I live fairly close to each other and in New York. So we're just gathering this way since we can't go to our normal festivals and things.
I never get to go to the festivals.
No, well, you have big festivals down there in a normal year, but obviously.
Oh, yeah. SAF is amazing.
But we did take you to a fiber festival once when you were here. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't
I
like
do.
my drive.
I don't like
Was it-
anybody's driving.
I
Dad
think that was a trip where Alexis did a little tippling, and she was rolling down the hill from one of the vendors into. It was so embarrassing.
They had a wine tasting booth. That was what he's referring to. So
I don't think I got any though. I don't
don't
think I did.
I don't remember.
This is
They
just,
have the
just
um,
a diet Coke, like no triggers.
they have the Mother Earth News Festival here where they serve all kinds of interesting drinks, like
Thank you for being here, Hickory Farm. I think Lexi was just Hickory Croft Farm. Lexi was just reading your message too. I think. So we appreciate it. It was great to get to know you more. Oh, so that's a Scottish New Year celebration, he's saying. So was that yesterday, the Scottish New Year, or that's just a celebration with the New Year, Tony? Interesting. I love Scottish things like terriers, and you guys have a great evening too, Hickory Craft Farm. I appreciate you being here. I like Scottish cows. Scottish Scotch. Our next feast day is Burns Night, a Burns supper, a celebration of life and poetry. Robert Burns, author of many Scots poems. That's fun. All the fun days. It's also National Pass Gas Day, Weezer, if you want to tell the children that. I'm sure they'd
No.
appreciate it.
I don't.
That's
We
like
don't need a national day.
If you go to the calendars where you have like today is pasta day or whatever, that's what it says on those. But for us, it's Distaff Day, and normally we don't even do the actual festivals on today. Normally they're the weekend after, so that regular people can celebrate. But
Regular people,
No, normal people.
as opposed to what we are.
well, we're not really.
Well, it's a family trend.
Yeah, every day. So that is definitely. Those are all the questions I have. Does anybody else have any questions or any other things they want to mention?
No, but I'm very happy with this.
You're happy with the knitting and how it's going?
It's feeling very nice.
Mom's upset that I let Dad know about the Pass Gas Day.
Oh,
Oh,
Celebrate!
open all the windows.
Lord.
It's a party.
What are you doing the swatch to measure? Is that
Yep.
what you're doing?
Yes, and it's interesting because they want me to knit primarily on size 6 needles. But then it says because most people tighten their gauge when they do the color work to go up to a size 9 needle, which I find a little excessive. So if this meets gauge, just regular in the round swatching meets gauge, then I guess I'll have to try the color work with both needles to see which one comes closer, because I don't feel like I knit all that much tighter when I do. I don't know. We'll
So
see.
Try
Try it all.
like a sample knitting, so that when you're like, she's about to knit a sweater, which is a huge project that has to fit properly. So in order to make sure that you're knitting according to the pattern sizing, you knit a swatch, which is just like a little sample.
This one said to swatch in the round, and I'm not going to do that. So instead of doing a whole circle, I just am going to the end of the row, and then I'm sliding it up to the next needle and carrying a float around the back and continuing. It should give you the same result as knitting in the round. But it has to meet 20 stitches and 24 rows, I think, for 4 inches. 20 stitches and 30 rounds, so 30 rows for 4 inches. So we'll see if I'm getting gauge with the hand spun yarn and the size 6 needles. If not, instead of switching needles and switching the pattern, I might just go up or down a size,
So Tony says his mom knits Aran sweaters. They're fantastic if you ever get a chance to try one. Is Aran the weight of the yarn, or is that
It
like
is both the weight of the yarn and a cabling pattern that is really beautiful. Usually, I think, and you can tell me, I don't know for sure, but usually they're in a cream color wool.
Okay,
Kind
kind of like the
sort of
Fisher sweater. Is that what?
like a Irish, yeah,
Or British in the sense?
maybe.
Very cool. Well, someday maybe I will try to knit again, but
You can just do it. Just knit it.
Can I ask, why is it that we three are the only ones on? How come all these other people only get to comment?
because you guys are the only ones I gave the link to be on the cameras. Not everybody wants to be on the camera. Some people just want to like hang out and chat.
Dad wants a full-on Zoom rock day.
Oh my goodness. Well,
Get the
So-
Zoom link, Bumpy.
a lot of time people like to listen to these and not necessarily like have the camera on their face. So I do a lot of lives and I watch them while I'm doing, or I listen to them with the phone in my pocket while I do other things. So not everybody always wants to have to be present. You know what I mean? Is that okay with you, Dad?
Now he's going to take a nap.
Well, it is almost 4:00 anyway, so I just wanted to make sure that you guys said everything you wanted to say.
Did I forget to say anything?
Tony said he'd be on. Next time, Tony, we'll make sure that we give you the
Show pony.
link. Bomber Steve, I sent you a message. Did you see it? I could not find the live you were on last night. So if you see my message, send me the link so I can watch the replay, because my niece, who's up in that corner of the camera over there, and I definitely want to see the Vegemite.
Oh, she's very excited.
Bomber Steve is in Australia. And we're talking about fiber art today because it's Rock Day, which is like a holiday type celebration. And I have my sister and my dad on with me because they're into fiber art as well. And we're kind of just wrapping up. We've almost been on an hour chatting about our fiber art, but I definitely wanted to check out, and I know Sula, my niece over there, wanted to watch the Vegemite.
First thing she said to me this morning.
Yeah, we gotta check it out, right, Sula?
Can we watch the Australian Vegemite video?
If he sends me the link, Sula, I'll make sure I share it. Hi, the Beehive Homestead. We're just kind of wrapping up. We've been talking about fiber art today, but the Beehive Homestead. I'll find the video. You can email me. Gmail. Okay, I will check it out. I will try to find it. If I can't find it, I will shoot you an email. Oh, this is right here. The Beehive Homestead is right above you, right? That would be cool. We'll have to check out we were talking Beehive Homestead about Vegemite because you had Bomber Steve on yesterday. So we'll have to check that out. Sounds fun. Us Americans are curious. Right, Sula?
You can say yes.
Yes.
Sula would be better at this than I am. I keep reading the comments and stuttering.
Yes.
Do you remember the cookies that your mother used to make? They were made with Anzac syrup or something from Australia. What the heck was that called?
Anzac.
And they were
Oh, I do.
They were hard as a rock, but I think they were meant to be that way for soldiers to, for them to be preserved in the trenches. And
The soldier needed cookies.
Oh.
I don't know. Your mother would know.
So he's saying
Ooh,
that they
Aussie
also
slang.
Anzac biscuits, he just said.
Anzac, that's it. Who said that?
Bomber Steve, the one from Australia.
Bomber Steve is from Australia. And
Yep, he was on.
Snake catching gear. Oh Lord. Oh good.
That's
You catch
Alice
them
would
and
be-
keep them over there.
Alice would be right on board with that.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to watch the playback. It sounds cool. And he's saying hello to you, Sula. ANZAC is Australian New Zealand Army Corp. That's what it stands for. The ANZ.
Yeah, I think we still
Oh.
have some, don't we, Barb, up in the I think we have some in the cupboard.
No, you don't.
They save well. They keep very well.
Anzac biscuits made with golden syrup, is she saying. So this is my mom that made the biscuits. I remember liking them.
Yeah, they're good. I like them too.
I'm sure there's not any in the cupboard because if I liked them, I would have eaten them all. I'm not a good food sharer. Golden syrup and rolled oats. Send their husbands to service because they kept for a long time. Yep, Steve said they had to make it overseas in World War I. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very neat. Well, I think I'm gonna have to wrap it up because it's 4 o'clock and I'm worried I'm gonna have to go paint pretty soon, unfortunately. So I should tame the children and get ready. But thank you guys for hanging out with me. They're saying they're great to dunk in your tea and sensational. We make them more chewy now rather than hard. New recipe. We could talk about Anzac cookies all day.
Yeah, I think Barb did that too, Bomber Steve. This has been great. Thank you for inviting me today. I would love to do this like once a month and to get to meet some of you who are willing to come on board and talk a little bit. I'm used to Zoom where there are 40 people at a meeting. So,
yeah, well, maybe we can make it like a monthly thing with, a monthly fiber gathering or something where we could talk about stuff. Lexi survived, right, Lex?
Barely.
Well, despite the children being a little crip, my children are running around, so.
I've got mine in a back room over there, so.
Clock mine clock.
That's wise. So funny. Thanks for being here, the Beehive Homestead. We will definitely check out your video from last night. My two guest Bomber Steve are my father down there and my sister who's in South Carolina. So Dad and I are in New York in the States and Alexis is in South Carolina. And we are all into fiber art, so that's why they're here with me. But we would be delighted to have anybody else on in the future. If you're interested in coming on and chatting with us about fiber art, Dad particularly is excited to have at least 40 people. So
At least. Then I could not and sit here and knit and watch
oh my goodness.
instead.
See, there are the people that like to be on the camera and there are the people that don't always like to be on the
Yeah.
camera. So
That would be a first, wouldn't it, Michelle, if Alexis just sat there and nodded?
I need to practice because I get so distracted by the writing.
I can't read it anyway. So
Oh, well, that's good for you. I'm sitting right on top of it and it pops up and I'm like, oh, mid-sentence.
Bomber Steve said he'd join a chat someday, Dad.
yes,
He's
good,
accent.
good man, Bomber Steve.
All right. We'd have to figure out a good time though, because they're definitely a different time zone.
Yeah, work on it, Michelle. That's good.
All right. I'll work on it. All right. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with me. Dad's already left.
Bye, Dad. He's done.
He's so
I said what I want to say. I'm off.
Well, I appreciate you coming, Lex. I know that you weren't super excited, but
No, it was fun. I'm all right. I just, I need to be a little more coordinated about the reading and the talking.
that's okay.
You'll have to let me do it again.
Yes. The more you do it, the more you get used to it.
Yep.
Bye, Katie. Thank you for being here. I usually am on your premieres, Tony. I don't know if I was on your live. Maybe. I try to catch lives whenever I see them pop up, but sometimes I'm more listening than I am actually like in the chat if I'm doing other stuff. So I try to be there for your stuff, Tony, one way or the other. But 8 a.m. at the moment, so we would have to figure out a good time, Bomber Steve. But I will email you, and I will definitely check out the Beehive Homestead live from last night with my niece, so we can
Us
watch the vegetables.
too.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
And the
thanks, Heather.
snakes.
And the snakes. The kids will love that for sure. My dad is the boss. He just decided to peace out without even saying goodbye to anyone.
That's an Irish goodbye for you. Like a done. Mic drop. Bye.
Whatever. But all right. Well, thanks, Lex. I will end the broadcast now. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.